and forth with him. Going to hook up with him at Pat Perez golf tournament. And he lives down in San Diego. And he was like, man, this could be the start of the first 2 games ever. Best 2 games to start a Stanley Cup ever. As far as the physicality, how they're playing, they're picking and choosing their fights because the NHL, like he said, is not really a fighting game like it used to be. Now you pick and choose when you fight. So you set up your power plays accordingly, etc. Nowadays, it seems more strategic, but it's still physical. They're still racking cats into the glass. It's still a violent sport. And that hockey series is fire. That's one game. That's one series I look forward to watching. Smitty, let's dive right into it. From controversy to controversy. Just start the show to our thumbnail, which is
let's get it, man. Simone Biles versus Riley Gaines. I think there's a whole bunch of tweets and stuff that they have up here. Obviously, Riley Gaines, I think, came out, made a comment about what was it, a high school softball team who had won a state championship, and they had a trans.
Remember the boy that pitched? We saw it.
Yep, they had a transgender as the pitcher. So she responds to the pitcher saying, "Comments off, LOL. To be expected when your star player is a boy." Simone Biles saw that and responded, and she said, "Let me see the tweet real quick, Bailey." She tagged Riley Gaines and said, "You're truly sick. All of this campaigning because you lost the race. Straight up sore loser. You should be uplifting the trans community and perhaps finding a way to make sports inclusive or creating a new avenue where trans feels safe in sports. Maybe a transgender category in all sports. But instead, you bully them. One thing for sure is no one in sports is safe with you around." Whole bunch of exclamation marks. Jason, go ahead and unleash.
It's not even unleashed no more. I'm just, you and I are on record to disagree with what's happening in sports with boys and girls.
We're on the same page with that piece for sure. Like I don't. Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't understand Simone Biles. She's very hypocritical in all this. I don't understand it. She kind of dismisses the fact that Riley Gaines lost against a boy. And I don't understand why she's condoning it or thinking it. Like, and years ago, they found old text tweets of her, and she's saying, like, imagine if I went against a boy, I would never have these these gold medals and all this old shit. And I'm like, damn, how crazy that is. Times change really quickly. I don't know why. But this is a female that quit in the Olympics, and then she called her a quitter and a sore loser. I don't understand that part of it. I'm confused.
Only she called her a quitter, did she? She called her a sore loser, right?
I don't know.
Shut up. Yeah, well, just called her a sore loser.
Yeah, they've been back and forth.
Now, I don't want to talk about this because, like when it comes to just act, like Simone Biles is the GOAT in her sport, though. Like that's a separate, like
yeah,
that's a separate thing.
But it's also the GOAT of her sport against girls, right?
Yep, 100%.
All right. So why would she say that against her Riley though? Sounds like you're defending Biles. Go ahead.
It don't sound like nothing. You go ahead. I told you to go.
I'm just trying to make
that little serious face and go ahead. Don't try to.
I want to see if you're defending Biles here, homie. Like I'm trying to figure this out. So she said you're a sore loser for losing against a man.
Well, Ronnie got in 5th place in that race. Let's be clear too. It's like a lot of times we talk as if like Ronnie was in 2nd place and the trans. What's her name? Leah Thomas got in 1st, and we like, oh fuck. Riley came in 5th place. She wasn't winning that race.
No. That race.
She wasn't top 3. You know?
But Riley finished 2nd in the SEC, homie. That one race wasn't the determining factor of.
I think that's what she's talking about, the race.
Yeah, but she finished. She would have finished overall. She would have been the number 1 like SEC swimmer, but she lost that fucking race. So I'm trying to figure out why Simone is now. Anyway, Simone's got, just from what I saw, she looks like she got like murdered by a lot of people. Whether it's right or wrong, she got murdered by everybody on Twitter. A lot of females came forward in defense of Riley Gaines on this. Look, I'm not much. I don't know Riley Gaines like that. I don't know her. She's become an advocate because she was the woman who faced that dude with the flipper foot, and we made. We were all pissed off about this whole thing. And then it's become more and more transparent that we're allowing more and more boys in. Then this Minnesota guy beats 5 teams in a row. They let her pitch 5 days straight, let him pitch 5 days consecutive to win them a title.
Mm.
And I don't know if that's not the biggest, I don't know if you want to call about steroids and gambling on sport. If this ain't the biggest cheating scandal ever, I don't know what is. It should be right up there with steroids and right up there with gambling, homie, if you're going to be real with it.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how Simone is even defending this or using it. It seemed like she had more of a beef with Riley over the fact. But the problem is she made herself look horrible, though, because they found, they're going to dig up old tweets. Yeah. And she said she wouldn't.
Yeah, I actually remember her this tweet. Like at that time, I think it was like one of her counterparts. I think it was one of the guys on the Team USA.
So she's
a gold who was like killing it, and she was like, "Man, good thing I always." This is kind of before, I think it's 2017. So I don't think all the trans, like that stuff wasn't really happening at that level. I don't think at that time. So I think she was just speaking just in general, like, "Damn, thank God I don't compete against boys." So listen, you gotta be, if you're in the media space, you got to watch what you say, because they will find something old. They just happen to.
It's your resume, Smitty. It's your resume.
It's your resume.
It's gonna be mine.
This is almost 10 years ago. So listen, who knows? Shit didn't change. Like whatever. Like I've definitely said stuff today that 10 years ago that I might have countered. We're all our biggest hypocrites. We all say shit and then counter it. It is itself. So I disagree with men playing in women's sports. I've said that. I think it's a reason why we have women's sports. It's a reason why we have, two set. We've always had two separate sports. There's a reason behind it. Physically we're different. Like, we can. That's just common sense, y'all. So like, I on this particular topic, what I'm saying, I gotta disagree with Simone on this. But to your point, I think if you look at the way she tweeted out, I think it's another tweet she had too, where she's took a jab at Riley Gaines, like body size or something like that. She said something like, pick on people your own size, and she said, ironically though, that would be against like a boy or something. So trying to be funny. So my point, and to your point, I'm thinking the same thing. This was bigger than this tweet. I think Simone just don't like her probably for years. And again, I don't know a lot about Riley Gaines. I do know that over the years she said some like she said some like controversial things online. She can be controversial, like her approach to certain things can be not everybody's flavor. We'll say that. So it's probably something where Simone just got emotional and just fucking took her phone out and just went in and just didn't spell check, didn't fact check, just went through and boom. And now she's kind of getting killed online. So
well, controversy usually comes with the truth and meaning you're something you're passionate about. That's what you call people always say you're controversial with how you talk when you're advocating for like a group of people. So Riley Gaines has been advocating for women for a long time. So if that's controversial, I guess that's what
I guess what I'm saying is like I know she's made like jokes or whatever, comments about like Brittany Griner, and like I'm just trying to think off the top of the head the few things I've seen. Like it's not about her overall message. I think is right in terms of like women should play in sports. Okay, boom, that's like we're on the same page right there. But
why is she the only woman advocating?
I think it's a how.
Why is she the only woman advocating is my question. Why is it Simone Biles, a world-known star of her craft? Yeah. Why don't we have more women? I don't understand it. The other day, we had Sarah Spain. I did a short on her. We talked about Sarah Spain and how she went at McAfee and Stephen A. because she used to be at ESPN. She's no longer there, obviously. She does a women's sports podcast, she calls it. But I haven't seen her advocating for the boy pitcher against women. Like, I haven't seen that. It continues to confuse me. We got to separate the difference between activists and journalists, because I don't think we understand the difference. There's a huge difference right now. A lot of folks, Stephen A. is slowly transitioning to activists. If we really want to be real and watch what he's doing, he's trying to get in his political space. He's trying to do certain things. It's becoming more of an activist role for a lot of these talking heads. It's not journalism at all anymore. At all. It's a lot of these people now are not doing journalism. What's her name? Riley Gaines is now an activist. Mm-hmm. Like, let's be real. She's a activist now. And rightfully so for girls sports and women's sports. Marcellus Wiley's wife, she's an activist now. What's her name? Sage Still. She's now an activist. Those things are done. Like the sports part of it's over. They're not in there no more. Like they're not in there no more. They got, I know Sage sued Disney or whatever. She has her own thing going. Everyone moved on to their own thing. They're now activists though. So like it's a slippery slope, homie. I'm just telling you right now. I just want to know why we don't have more feminists advocating for women's rights. That's what blows my mind to this day. I still don't get it. I don't understand how we can sit here and allow a boy to pitch 5 days straight against our girls, our daughters, our sisters. And imagine you go see your sister graduate in Naptown last week and you got to see her play in a state title game and a boy pitched against her. Right. And you're sitting there watching that. And I don't understand how the advocacy is not coming out against this thing by more females. It blows my fucking mind. I don't understand it. It screams like you're a sellout to me. You're taking money or something. You've been bought. You've been paid or something's going on.
Probably a lot of people just scared, to speak out.
I don't know why though. I don't get it.
It's gonna fuck their money up.
Yeah, but it's not like
and we all selfish. Like we all, at the end of the day, like we care about people to an extent, but not more than us when we got going on. And you don't want to talk about things to get money up.
I feel sorry for them though. Like at the end of the day, when you die and leave this world and this earth or this body or whatever you want to talk about, this soul or whatever, and it leaves us. That's what you're known for. You're known for being this person. Whether it's the person I am, the person you are, the person she is, the person
it is,
you died being that person. So all I'm saying is like, why is this the hill you want to die on? You can ask that about me. You can ask that about Smith. You can ask about anyone. This is the hill. This is our individual hill that we want to die on. So it is what it is. I'm always going to be me. Smitty's going to be him. She's going to be her. Right. I don't understand the part when it's factual, scientifically based, though. That there's a man and a woman. That's who's born into this world. That's it. There's no other fucking gender or made up humans that are scientifically proven to be created. There's not a guy with a dick and a pussy that I know of yet that has come out the womb.
Nah, they do. And they call it a hermaphrodite.
Yeah,
they're
not playing sports, Smitty. So
okay.
Yeah, how many of those are there? 6?
I don't know. I'm saying I think they're all. I think that is
six in the world. Well, they're retards. So like, there's a difference. So here's the thing.
Shit like that. I think Right Game 6 has said shit like that. So that's an example. When I say controversial,
but it had nothing to do with
that last comment wasn't necessary. It's like, so shit like that. The people that were the wrong way, they're like, damn, like she's not a good,
It wasn't what
necessary.
Why?
You just didn't need to say that last line. It didn't add anything to the conversation.
So here's the thing, though. Like, what happened? Like, but scientifically, right? We know that there's only two men. There's a man and a girl, a little boy and a little girl. That's who's made out of the womb. That comes out of the womb. Boom. Yeah, mama, dad. That's who comes out, right?
Yeah.
Because it's funny. Why do we do gender reveals then? Because I'm trying to. Is that a valid point? Why would we do the blue and the pink fucking thing? And you know what's crazy? You know who does most gender reveals?
Who?
The weirdo fucking Karen, the pink hair, fat fucks. Why do they do the gender reveal? To say what? To say what?
He's gonna be a boy or girl.
For what though? Because you're gonna change their sex anyway. Like, why even do it? Like, it is so fucking stupid. That's where we are in the world, homie. That's where we are in society. Common sense is no longer common. And we are now trying to create a human and allow them into our other spaces. It just blows my mind. I don't understand where the women are, the feminists, the activists, all these other people that are also pro-women, but yet when it comes down to women being women, you're not pro-women. You're pro-man. And I just am shocked by I'm dumbfounded, actually is the word. I'm dumbfounded by the hypocrisy, number one, when you're saying you're a sore loser to a girl who lost to a boy, number one. And then number two, I just don't understand where the talking heads are, man. It blows my mind. We have so many powerful women out here who are huge, with huge platforms, but yet they refuse to get active in this space. I don't understand it, and that's the reason why it is what it is.
But my only last little note is that you also have the freedom to speak on what you want to speak on and not speak about stuff you don't want to speak about. I mean, Michael Jordan used to get like people go with Michael Jordan for not speaking about certain stuff. But it's like, nah, sometimes I don't want to talk about it. I'm gonna stay out the way. I'm gonna sell my shoes. I'm gonna become the GOAT in that, GOAT on the court. And whatever things I do to give back will be behind the scenes, and we'll just keep it moving. So like everybody don't want to be in the mix with everything, too. I don't want to be an activist. Like at least right now I don't. We'll see who I am in 20 years, but I don't want to be an activist. So there's certain things where I'm gonna stay away from because I just don't want to be in that space.
Yeah, but here's the issue though. Like you just said you can't say one side that you have the freedom to speak, and then on the other side you're saying, well, they're scared. Well, which one is it? Are you scared to speak about freedom of speech? Or are you scared to say what's real? Like, because that's who you are. You're a sellout, or you're been paid, or you've been bought, or what have you. You can't say we got the right to be. If we have the right to speak freely, our First Amendment right, then why are you worried about being canceled?
Well, we don't have there's consequences though.
No. I'm not asking you particular. I'm not asking this for a particular question. I'm asking like,
I got you.
Why should we, I guess, be worried about being canceled if we have that alienable right, the First Amendment right to speak freely, but yet we're so critiqued when we do so? It is what do you call it? A oxymoron.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I speak freely if that's my God-given right, homie? Like, I'm trying to figure out. We always come back to that shit and say we're scared of this, we're scared of that, but that's our First Amendment right? There shouldn't be a law. We can't get arrested for it. We can't do it, but yet we get critiqued over what? Because we're scared to lose money? It's very, very strange, I guess.
But it's always been like I always say, I always go back to this example. I can't go to Fox and go just say whatever the hell I want to say.
But I'm saying I get it. I'm saying
I won't get in trouble legally, but I might get fired.
But that's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be that way. Is my point. Like that's the only thing.
But JB, it should though, because really? to some extent, I should. So you think you should be able to go to your job and say what the fuck you want to say? It should be no consequences.
No,
that don't make sense either.
You should have to follow. You should have to follow and abide hierarchy, right. which is what we should have to do, right. and understand who our bosses are, and assimilate accordingly, and understand your role. But that doesn't mean I should have to shut up, because on one side of the mouth, you say sometimes you can't just talk to me any old way. I'm gonna walk out of Fox if my boss came to me and said, "You a bitch." Yeah, we had that. But hold on though, how can he do that and you walk out, but you not having the right to freedom of speech? See what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense, homie. Like
I'm saying, okay, and I also can't call him a bitch either, though.
But
he'll fire me, or I'll leave him, or you know what I'm saying?
But that's my point, homie. Freedom of speech should be able to go any which way. You should be able to do whatever you want. My point is the discipline of how you speak and what you say is totally different than freedom of speech. You should be able to have a candid conversation with anyone, a boss or whatever. Instead of, you don't have to call them a bitch, but you can. Smitty, come on. We've been fired, homie, at other places. People have been fired for having candid conversations because the other person did not like the transparency you delivered. For sure. Let's keep it funky. Yeah, they just didn't like the side of the fence that person was on about what he spoke about. Let's be honest. That's definitely violation of my First Amendment, though. But they'll use it against you as saying, well, and then you see a watering hole. They're talking about motherfucker. Oh yeah, I got rid of that motherfucker. That motherfucker was a right wing conservative. It comes out later, and then we see the recording, and then we hear the audio, and then it's like, oh, hold up. So now I'm gonna sue you after the fact for fucking unlawful termination, and then I got see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm too deep for you, really.